I'd been working at this busy mid-tier family restaurant for about 3 years. It was a kind of place with sticky menus and kids running around, but I took pride in what I did. I could juggle 5 tables, keep drinks topped off, remember orders without writing them down, and still crack a joke that'd have the whole booth laughing. I didn't just work there, I basically ran the front of house. Mark, my manager, knew he could trust me with anything. If we had a VIP reservation, if a giant party walked in at 8:55 p.m., if the fryer caught on fire, I'd be the one stepping up. The kitchen staff loved me, too. I never threw them under the bus when orders got delayed, always ran extra ranch or sides without whining. And then there was Rick, the owner. Rick was, how do I say this kindly, an absolute stress case. Imagine a chihuahua that just drank 2 Red Bulls. That's Rick. His eyes always darted around, his voice cracked whenever something went wrong, and he'd nitpick over the dumbest stuff, like how I stacked the salt shakers or the angle of a napkin fold. But still, I figured he respected me. After all, more than a dozen Google reviews literally mention me by name. That's no small feat for a server. One Monday night, I just pulled a brutal double. My feet felt like they were full of wet cement. I went to Mark, who was usually reasonable, and asked if I could get my Tuesday morning shift covered. Just needed a little breather. Mark waved it off. No problem at all. The new girl's training anyway, and it's always dead at lunch. We've got plenty coverage. I exhaled in relief. Finally, a morning to recharge. Little did I know that decision would turn the next 2 weeks into one of the most bizarre roller coasters of my life. Tuesday morning, I slept in, made some pancakes. Actually tasted my coffee instead of chugging it half asleep. Then my phone buzzed. It was Rick, and the text was short, but my heart sank immediately. Rick, why aren't you here right now? I called him, trying to keep it calm. Explained exactly what Mark had told me, that the new girl was training, that it was cleared. But Rick cut me off with this weird, high-pitched laugh that always meant he was about to freak out. She's not a real server yet. It was still your shift. The way I see it, you skip work without finding a proper place. I opened my mouth to argue, then closed it, because Rick was already steamrolling ahead. Consider yourself suspended for the rest of the week. I expect you to come back Monday ready to actually do your job. Internal monologue. Let audience feel his gut drop. When I hung up, I just sat on my couch, staring at the wall. I felt this cold, hollow ache spread through my chest. 3 years of never being late, never skipping shifts, never snapping at a customer, even when they completely deserved it. All tossed aside by a panicked owner trying to cover his own butt. I wanted to scream or throw something, but instead, I took a deep breath. And this weird calm came over me, because for the first time in years, I realized I didn't owe these people anything. If Rick wanted me gone for a week, fine. I'd make it the most peaceful, soul-repairing week of my life. So that's exactly what I did. I slept until 10, sometimes 11. My girlfriend and I went on random weekday adventures, mini golf, dollar movie matinees, even drove out to the lake to skip stones and eat sandwiches on the hood of my car. I started playing disc golf at the park again, something I hadn't done in years. It was like rediscovering tiny pieces of myself I'd buried under piles of order tickets. And can I get extra lemon on the side? And you know what? My back didn't hurt. My feet didn't ache. My smile was real. Friday night, around 6:30 p.m., right when that dinner rush insanity hits. My phone rings. It's Rick. I smirked a little before I even answered, because I had a pretty good guess what was going on. Rick's voice was frantic. Hi. Breathless. Words tripping over each other. Hey, buddy. Listen, we're in a really tough spot. The dishwasher's running food. The hostess tried to take an order and mess it up. We're getting slammed with complaints. Is there any way at all, you could come in tonight? Or tomorrow? Or Sunday brunch? I'll even pay you overtime. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. I took a deep breath. Let the silence hang. Then I said, with the calmest voice I could muster, almost sweet, really, sorry, Rick. I'm still on suspension, remember? I guess I haven't learned my lesson yet. The stunned, Awkward silence on the other end was better than any paycheck. Rick tried to stammer something out. Well, we could lift that suspension. We need... I cut him off, still polite but firm. Yeah, I'll see you Monday. Have a good night, Rick. Then I hung up, and I kid you not, I leaned back, put my hands behind my head, and grinned at the ceiling like I just won the freaking lottery. When I walked back in on Monday, it was like royalty returning from exile. Mark practically tripped over himself, thanking me for coming back. The line cooks gave me little salutes. Even the new girl flashed this big relieved grin, like, thank God, someone who knows what they're doing. But the best part? Rick couldn't meet my eyes. He mumbled something about how he hoped I'd had time to reflect. Yeah, Rick, I reflected. Reflected on just how much this place needs me. And let me tell you, ever since that week, things have been very different. Rick doesn't bark at me over napkins anymore. He checks with me politely if I can pick up extra shifts instead of assuming I'll bend over backwards. And I go home every night knowing that even though it's just waiting tables, I have real leverage here, because sometimes losing your best player teaches you a lesson no corporate seminar ever could. This whole thing taught me something huge. So many of us kill ourselves for jobs that would drop us the second it's convenient for them. We say yes to everything, pick up extra hours, cover shifts, all because we want to be good employees. But sometimes the most powerful move you can make is to simply step back. Let them realize just how much you held everything together. Because when the place starts falling apart without you, that's when they finally understand your true worth. So what about you? Have you ever had a moment where karma did exactly what it was supposed to? Or a time you finally got the respect you deserved? Tell me in the comments. I read every single story, and some of them are better than anything I could write. If this revenge made your day, smash that like button. Subscribe for more stories just like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the sweetest revenge is simply doing nothing at all.